Hi everyone, this is Sean, Bid for Assets Marketing Manager. In this video, I'll be walking you through how to participate in Berks County, Pennsylvania sheriff sale auctions here on Bid for Assets. A sheriff sale is a public auction to facilitate the sale of property that's been repossessed due to an unpaid debt. The proceeds from that sale are then used to satisfy that debt. In many cases, this sale results from a mortgage foreclosure. The first thing you'll need to do to participate in this or any auction available on Bid for Assets is register a free Bid for Assets account if you haven't done so already. There are no monthly fees required to maintain your account. It is completely free, and the registration process should only take a few minutes. To begin, you'll want to go to the top navigation bar on the bidforassets.com homepage and select Sign Up. From there, you'll be prompted to provide an email address and create a password. That password will be what you use to log into your Bid for Assets account, as well as confirm bids, so be sure to make it something you feel confident that you'll remember. From there, you'll need to provide some basic contact information, confirm your phone number, and finally log into your email account and confirm the email address that you've placed on file to complete your registration. Bid for Assets has a video walking you through every step of this process, and you can access that video by going to bidforassets.com/videos. You see that we have many video tutorials here walking you through various phases of a Bid for Assets auction, including registering for an account. Now, after you've created your account, the next thing that you'll want to do is go to the landing page on Bid for Assets for Berks County sheriff sale auctions. You can do this from the Bid for Assets homepage by selecting Sheriff Sales/Foreclosures, this link on the left navigation, or the display here to the right of our map. You'll then select Berks County from the list of sheriffs displayed here. The first thing that I want to draw your attention to here on the landing page is the display up top that says Sales Date. Berks County will typically host a sheriff sale with Bid for Assets on the first or second Friday of each month. So selecting the Sales Date tab here will display a list of dates for upcoming auctions, and selecting one will generate a list of properties currently scheduled for that date. So for example, when I select January 8th here, you'll see that it generates a list displaying only properties that will be available on that date. When I go to the bottom of the list, I can use the arrows here to scroll from page to page. And the arrows at the end here will take me either to the last page on the list or back to the first page on the list. Now, some of these auctions will be marked as stayed or postponed. An auction that's been marked as stayed has been canceled. One auction that's been marked as postponed is being rescheduled for a later date. If you click on an auction that's marked as postponed, you will see the auction title will contain the new auction ID if one's already been assigned to it. Leaving the Show Available Auctions Only box checked will ensure that you only see auctions that are still scheduled to move forward. This will help streamline your search a bit. Now, it is important to remember that each auction date is treated as its own event and will have a deposit specific to that date. In other words, if you'd like to bid on one or more of the properties in Berks County's January 8th sheriff sale, you'll only need to submit one single $10,000 paddle fee bid deposit, and that deposit will let you bid on all of the auctions that are scheduled for January 8th. If, however, you wanted to bid in Berks County's February 5th sale, in addition to the January 8th sale, you would need to send an additional bid deposit for that date. One bid deposit for January 8th and one bid deposit for February 5th. Remember that while you need a separate bid deposit for each sale date, one bid deposit will qualify you to bid on every auction available on that date. So once you see an auction that you'd like to bid on, you can go to that auction page, and one of the first things that you'll see is an orange button that reads, "Click here for deposit instructions." Bid deposits are typically required to qualify for any public auction that Bid4Assets hosts. They should be sent directly to Bid4Assets, and there are two methods allowing for you to do this. They are certified check and wire transfer. You see closer to the deadline here for Berks County right now, only wire transfer is available. Before you obtain instructions for submitting your deposit, note that you'll be prompted to provide your Social Security number in compliance with the Patriot Act if this is your first time submitting a deposit with Bid4Assets. After that, you'll be prompted to provide pre-vesting info detailing how you'd like any potential property that you've won to be titled. Just like with registration, Bid4Assets has a video walking you through every step of this process. You can again access all of these by going to bid4assets.com/videos. Once Bid4Assets receives your deposit, it will be processed and you will be notified via email and in your Bid4Assets message center when you've been cleared to bid. If you do not win any auctions, then your deposit will be returned to you via a printable e-check that will come to the email address on your Bid4Assets account within 10 business days of the auction's close. You can print that check and take it with you to your bank, or you can scan it with a mobile app just like a regular bank check. Now let's take a closer look at an individual auction page from one of these sheriff sale properties and talk a little bit about due diligence. The auction page has any available information that the sheriff's office can provide to assist you with your due diligence. Neither the sheriff nor Bid4Assets will have any additional information on the condition of a property or its title, including whether the property is free of liens. It's very important to complete your own due diligence before bidding on a property. This includes assessing the condition and value of the property, as well as learning any relevant information on the property's title status. Both the sheriff's office and Bid4Assets would recommend that you consult with an attorney before purchasing property from a sheriff sale. Bid4Assets CEO led a webinar on how to research tax sale properties, and much of the information in that video will be relatable and helpful for your sheriff sale due diligence. You can find that video again at bid4assets.com/video. It's here below the bidding tutorial. A key piece of advice I would want to mention from that video here, however, is the importance of visiting a property whenever you can. Obviously, you don't want to set foot on a property, as that would constitute trespassing, but there is nothing preventing you from driving by a property and viewing its exterior, and that is a very worthwhile form of due diligence to practice whenever you can. You may have noticed when we were back on the landing page that many of the sheriff sale properties displayed there do not currently have a minimum bid. In fact, this one says awaiting minimum bid. The Berks County Sheriff's Office will set the minimum bid for each auction based on their costs associated with taking the property to auction. Each auction in the Berks County Sheriff's Sale also has a reserve price. A reserve price is a minimum amount that bidding must reach in order for a property to result in a third-party sale. This amount is typically called an upset price in sheriff sales. The reserve price is not disclosed, but bidders can see whether or not the reserve price has been met during bidding. For Berks County Sheriff Sale auctions, a property's reserve is going to be set by an attorney assigned to that property. What all of this means is that when researching property, you will need to determine how high you are willing to bid, even though you may not know the minimum bid or the upset price, and will not know the reserve of an auction until bidding reaches that amount. This is why independent research and preparation matter so much when participating in sales of this type. Once the auction opens, you can go in and start bidding. You can bid along in small increments, or you can place your maximum proxy bid and the system will bid on your behalf. The system will ensure that you do not need to bid more than is necessary to reach the upset price and to beat the second highest bidder by one bid increment. In other words, placing your proxy bid is similar to having a number in your head when you go to a live auction, and the system will bid up to that amount on your behalf, but not over it. Additionally, the proxy bid system will default to the lowest amount you can bid while still meeting the reserve price whenever it can. So if, let's say, this auction had a reserve price of $8,000 and I placed a proxy bid at $12,000, the system would default to a bid of $8,000, ensuring I win the auction for the reserve price and no more. At this point, my bid would only increase if other people bid on the auction and an increase was necessary to maintain my status as the high bidder. To be clear, if you are not the winning bidder, but the reserve price, if you are the winning bidder, I mean to say, but the reserve price or upside price is not met, you will not be purchasing the property. You need to bid until the reserve price switches from not met, as indicated right here, over to met. At that point, you would also need to be the high bidder in order to win the auction and purchase the property. If you successfully win one or more auctions, you'll receive an email after all of the auctions have closed for bidding. Settlement terms, or the timelines and amounts needed to facilitate closing of the sale, will be located on each individual auction page as well as the landing page for the sheriff sale. We strongly encourage you to familiarize yourself with these settlement terms, as you will be placed in default if you do not have the funds available to meet the payment deadlines outlined in them. At that point, you would forfeit your deposit. In addition to settlement instructions, the email that you receive as a winning bidder at the end of an auction will allow you to access Bid4Asset's Deed Wizard tool. This will give you the ability to update vesting information individually for any property that you've won. So to recap some key points, to participate in Berks County Sheriff Sales, you are going to want to 1. Register a free Bid4Assets account. 2. Visit the Berks County Sheriff Sale landing page on Bid4Assets and select the date of the auction that you wish to bid in. 3. Obtain deposit instructions and send your deposit for the auction or auctions you wish to bid in. Remember, only one deposit is needed for each date. 4. Thoroughly research the properties that you intend to bid on and place your bids when the auctions open. Additionally, read the auction's terms of sale and settlement terms ahead of time, and be sure that you have the funds ready to complete the sale on any auction that you win. 5. If you are a successful bidder, follow the instructions in your post-auction email to complete settlement. Again, sheriff sales can be complicated, so do your due diligence and consult with an attorney ahead of the sale. Bid4Assets is always here to help, with live customer service available over 40 hours per week. So always feel free to reach out to us by going to bid4assets.com/contact. You can also obtain our contact information by going back to the top navigation bar and selecting the Contact Us tab. That will provide you with our customer service team's email address and phone number. And again, you can reach out to us at any time. Until then, we hope this video was helpful for you, and we wish you the best of luck in your next auction on Bid4Assets. Take care.